If you're a dad like me, then odds are pretty good that you spent some of your formative years in the late 90s, early 2000s riding a skateboard. And you had a blast. Now you have kids of your own. You want to get them into it. But those pro-level skateboards that were about $100 back then, inflation has not been kind to them. They're anywhere from $150 to $200 now. As usual, Walmart has some super cheap alternatives, but are they worth it? Or is there something somewhere in the middle that will be the thing to get your kids riding without breaking your bank, especially if you have to buy for multiple kids? Let's find out. But real quick, what's up? I'm Jeff, and welcome to the backyard. This is Fun Size Adventures, where we help you and your family have adventures in your own backyard, or maybe in your driveway if you're riding a skateboard, while keeping things on a budget.
Yeah.
Like I said, back in the day, you got your CCS catalog in the mail, you ordered a skateboard. Every skateboard in there for a complete was about $100, and they were top of the line, the same things the pros used. Now those are pushing up to the $150 if you're lucky, up to $200 price points. If you have multiple kids you're trying to buy a skateboard for, that's just not feasible. Walmart has boards that start at like $15. But do you want to start with those? Let's do a quick rundown of what you get for that price. They have plastic trucks, they have bearings that don't roll, wheels that don't roll either, boards that just don't have good glue or are made of good wood, and they have cars that drive by. So while that price point may be tantalizing, they're just not going to give you a good experience. Now, Walmart also has boards that are more up in the $30 to $40 range, which swap out the plastic trucks for metal trucks and a couple other key little upgrades, but they still are just not going to give you a good experience of riding a skateboard, especially when you consider that for just a little bit more, this was $55. Now this is a Powell Mini Logo Complete. Now, Mini Logo is a sub-brand of Skate One, which also makes Powell Peralta skateboards, as well as Bones wheels and all that stuff. They're a big skate conglomerate that has been around since the early days of skateboarding. And these people know what they're doing. They're going to give you a product that is good to use. You can get these off of the Skate One website. You can buy them on Amazon, all set up, ready to go. Let me give you a rundown of what makes this such a good board. To start off with, this is a 7.5-inch board. This is going to be the perfect size for a kid. Let me show you for comparison's sake. This is my adult size skateboard, which is roughly 8 inches wide by 32 inches long. This board, you can see, it's not only a little bit narrower, but it's quite a bit shorter, and that helps for the younger kids with their smaller bodies to be able to manipulate it easier, and it's not going to be so big and heavy. Next thing is the trucks. These are Mini Logo branded trucks, and this is something that a lot of skateboard brands have done recently to offer a more budget price point, is figured out ways to make everything in-house. But don't think just because they're a budget alternative that they're not good. These are every bit as good as some other trucks that are going to cost you $50, $60, $70 for just the trucks. Then when it comes to wheels, these are Mini Logo branded wheels as well. These are actually 90A, and that refers to how hard they are. Skateboard wheels, if you're going to be like street skating, doing a lot of tricks, they're usually right around 100. If you're mostly just going to be like bombing hills or going over rough pavement, they're usually right around 80. So these are right in the middle, which kind of gives you the best of both worlds, which is great when you're just a kid trying to get into it and you want something that's definitely going to roll nice and smooth and go over any imperfections and just give you a great experience riding a skateboard. The bearings are Mini Logo as well. These are made kind of under the same umbrella as Bones bearings, which are some of the top of the line bearings. Obviously, these aren't going to be as good as that, but they are going to get the job done, especially for a kid. And then Mini Logo grip tape, Mini Logo bolts, everything Mini Logo, which, like I said, keeps the price down, but also is not really cutting too much quality out. If your kid is just getting into skateboarding and you get them this will carry them until they're ready to move up. And the great thing, different parts on different skateboards, if you skate a lot, wear out at different speeds, and everything here is completely modular and can be replaced on its own. Primarily, the decks wear out first, the tails wear down, the grip tape wears out eventually. But when that does happen, you want to get a new deck, you can just buy a new deck, and these are like $30 or so for these decks. And then you can also, another thing that wears out is the wheels and the bearings. You can swap those out. Everything can be swapped out on its own. It's kind of good to upgrade as you go, and that way you never have to buy another complete skateboard again. And then here's the one I got myself. We just got these for Christmas, so they haven't seen a lot of use yet, which is why they don't look beat up at all. We've been riding around in the basement, but we are just getting into spring, just getting ready to head to the skate park with these and have a blast. And you can see, even for my own, I opted to go with the Mini Logo trucks again. This is also a Mini Logo board, but a different style. This is a detonator deck, and it is more in an adult size. And the wheels, they're 101A, which, like I said, is at the harder end. And yeah, like I said, I can upgrade this at relatively low cost as I go, even for an adult like me getting back into skateboarding. But whereas I don't intend to do anything too crazy anymore because of my age, I highly doubt I'll ever wear this out. The last skateboard that I had used previous to getting out of it just because of the busyness of work and having kids and just being an adult, I've been kind of using that one off and on for 10 years and it hasn't broken. Back when I used to use skateboards a lot, I'd wear out the decks every few months, the wheels and bearings a couple times a year, stuff like that. Trucks are usually pretty indestructible unless you're jumping off of really high stuff or doing a lot of grinding on rough things that will wear the metal down. Trucks are going to last you a good long time. So in a world where your pro level skateboard is going to cost you $200, you could get almost 4 of these if you have a bunch of kids for that same cost. Get them all rolling, get them into skateboarding, upgrade as you go. And nowadays it seems like everywhere you turn there's a nice little public skate park to have some fun on, if not riding around on the streets or even in your own driveway. We did that a ton as a kid, and those are some of my fondest memories of my teen years. Having all the friends in the driveway, or even we built a mini ramp in our backyard. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that here because it's just winter too much of the time and it's just gonna sit under snow. But we have a nice mini ramp in town now, only a couple miles away, and we're gonna be shredding up these boards there soon. But until then, click on this video right here to come see another product that I think will help you guys and your kids all have a great amount of backyard fun on a budget. And I'm getting tangled up in my words, but that's okay. See you on the next one. Most important thing, never, under any circumstances, let your child carry a skateboard like this. That is highly frowned upon.